Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom.
People in every part of the globe are perishing because their judgment is low. From children to teens to elderly folks, this epidemic is incredibly bold. Wisdom is needed to see through the fog. Without it, we'll stumble and see to the long. You're jumping without something to break and fall if you choose to ignore wisdom's beckoning call. The only people who will lose the war are those who don't know who they're fighting for. You are the only one who can decide your fate. Don't waste your life when you can live inside of grace. If we turn to God and behold his shining face, we will gain traction to run in this human race.
Hey, what's going on? JC Johnson here for The Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. And today, I'm going to be sharing something special with you. It's from a conference I was at yesterday. You don't want to miss it.
Beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom.
Right, what's going on? JC Johnson here for The Love of Wisdom. I'm glad you could hang out with me today. We're on the second hour of the show, and we're going to be presenting an encore presentation of a lecture series that I shared with members of AmeriCorps yesterday in Washington, D.C. It was an awesome event. I was fortunate to be a part of it. There was a ton of great speakers there. I got a lot out of it myself, just being in that atmosphere, and I wanted to share a piece with you of that. So I'm going to share the majority of a lecture that I shared with them, and I think that you're going to enjoy it. So I don't want to take up too much time away from that. So let's just jump right into it now. This is the lecture series on my new book, The 40-Day Fire, Burning Away All That Does Not Resemble Your Destiny. And it was presented to the members of AmeriCorps in Washington, D.C. All right, so here is the first part of that right here.
Hello, everyone. If you are excited about the All-Corps Member Conference and you're having a great time, make some noise. Come on, I can't hear you. I know you all can get louder than that. You all are AmeriCorps members. Make some noise if you're excited for an All-Corps Member Conference. All right, that's who you like it. So, my name is Antoine Battle. I serve as the Director of Communications for Serve DC, the Mayor's Office on Volunteerism. Right now, I'm about to make an introduction for Jason C. Johnson Sr. Mr. Jason C. Johnson Sr. is a native of the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. Jason currently resides in the Cleveland, Ohio area with his wife and 3 children. And his wife is an AmeriCorps alum, so make some noise for his wife. Jason went on to receive a Bachelor's of Science degree from Lancaster Bible College in Biblical Studies and Ministry. Jason currently serves as an on-air personality on FM radio station WFHN 95.5 The Fish, where he plays popular contemporary Christian music and provides encouragement and inspiration to listeners in the Northeast Ohio area. Jason also hosts a talk radio program called For the Love of Wisdom, which discusses modern-day philosophical topics. Jason is going to be doing a lecture on his new book called The 40-Day Fire, Burning Away All That Does Not Resemble Your Destiny. If you all are ready for Jason to give his presentation, make some noise. The husband of AmeriCorps. Without further ado, Mr. Jason Johnson Sr.
One Plan Media and One Plan Media Publishing Group presents The 40-Day Fire, Burning Away All That Does Not Resemble Your Destiny by Jason C. Johnson Sr.
Some music for y'all.
right, I don't know if y'all can hear that back there, but this is a theme song for what we're going to be talking about today. It's called the 40-Day Fire. So I'm glad to be able to have the opportunity to speak with you all today. I came down from Cleveland. Anyone been to Ohio before? Anyone here from Ohio? Okay, you're from Cleveland? All right. Okay. We got some Buckeye fans in here. So, yeah, I'm originally from D.C., but I live in Ohio now, and I've been there for almost 3 years now. It's a lot different from here. We had a bunch of snow, actually. I was surprised to not see snow when I got here today, but definitely it's an honor to be able to share with you today. So what I'm going to be talking about is the 40-Day Fire, and in case you're wondering what that is, don't worry, I'm going to answer that question shortly. So bear with me. Just getting over a cold, but I think you should be able to still hear me. So this is the book, The 40-Day Fire, that this lecture series is based upon, and we're going to be getting into that and what it is. And I'll also let you know at the end of this how you can get it, and also how you can get it for free, if you're into that. Some people may not be into getting stuff for free, but if you are, just let me know. All right, so this is my family here. You see, this is my wife, my 3 children, and somebody said that's beautiful. Yeah, thank you. So the reason I share this is just to say, actually my wife was a part of AmeriCorps. She was in it for 2 years, and that was before we were married, before we had children or anything. And I remember when she was going through it, and she would tell me about it. She told me about, some of the challenges she faced and also some of the success stories. And I thought that it was really interesting. I didn't know that one day I would be sharing with you all, but I think that speaking with her about her experiences kind of helped me to understand a little bit more about it. So at least I kind of know what it is to go through the program. And I'm going to show you how what you're going through right now actually relates perfectly to this topic. So because my wife was in the program, she wanted to share some things with you, specifically because I know there's different AmeriCorps programs. She was in the AmeriCorps State and National, right? And after her experience with the AmeriCorps, she wanted to share these 3 things with you today. The first thing is there's a population of people who do not know how to get out of poverty, even those who are goodwill. The second thing, without a budget and an understanding of the extra expenses that you will accumulate from not having public benefits, it takes approximately 7 years to get out of poverty through a gradual increase in income. How many of you are aware of that? If somebody is living in poverty, it's not as simple as just saying, okay, I'm going to just save up a little bit, and 3 months from now, I'm going to be moving on up like the Jeffersons, right? It doesn't happen like that. Right? It's a process. And for most people, it actually takes several years to get out of it. But the good news about that is, even though it takes several years, it doesn't mean that it takes forever. There is usually an end point to it, but it takes some perseverance. And we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. The third thing is that a lot of people want better for themselves. But the problem is they lack positive mentors and leaders. And the great thing about this program is you have great mentors and leaders that are here. So for anyone who is a leader in AmeriCorps, would you be able to stand just so we can acknowledge you?
Go ahead, Tyree.
Yeah, come on, stand up. It's because of these men and women before you, that you're able to experience what you're experiencing. And, if you've been in this for any length of time, I'm sure that you understand the benefit of this. So definitely we want to thank you all for your service and helping everyone else in here to serve as well. So how does AmeriCorps relate to this topic of the 40-Day Fire? As you see this person climbing
these steps, it takes a certain amount of skills to be able to effectively do your job here, right? And so according to AmeriCorps, some programs have specific skill requests in certain areas. Others look for a bachelor's degree or a few years of related volunteer or job experience. Anyone in here finished college already? Okay, we got a lot of college alumni. So what about those who haven't started college? Anyone here hasn't started college yet? Anyone here plan on never going to college? Okay, so it looks like everyone here is either a graduate or will be a graduate soon. But either way, you know, the thing about this program, I think the awesome thing about it is, even though some of the jobs do require certain skills, such as a bachelor's degree, not all of them do. It says that for others, your motivation and commitment may be the primary requirement. So that's really the main thing that's needed. So focus on these two words. The first one, motivation. It's your motivation. I saw many people here early, and for young people, for old people, for anyone, right, that can be a challenge. And so I just want to applaud you all for even just coming early. You didn't come on time or a few minutes late. You actually came before this started. That means that you're serious. That means that you're motivated. That means that you actually believe that you're going to get something out of today. That's what's needed to be successful in this program specifically. The second one, commitment. You made a commitment. However long you made a commitment to be in this program, maybe it's 1 year, maybe it's 2 years, maybe even more than that. But in order to be successful, you do have to keep your commitment. And as you know, we live in a society now where commitment, it seems to be a bad thing. If you look at, for example, Planet Fitness commercials, nothing against Planet Fitness, but what do they always say on the commercial? Don't worry, no commitment is required. You don't have to commit. You don't actually have to, commit yourself to doing something. But I guess what they're trying to say is there's no pressure because you can cancel it anytime. But if you're really trying to be successful in life, you can't go into anything with the attitude of, well, I'm not committed to it. You can't say, if you want to be a professional bodybuilder, you can't say, well, I worked out for 2 days and nothing happened. I don't understand. How come I'm not able to lift up a car by now? So then you quit. You can't do that, because if you do that, it shows that you're not committed. But when you really want to achieve something in life, you're committed to it to the end.
All right, what's going on? J.C. Johnson here for the Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. Glad you could hang out with me today as we are listening to a lecture on the 40-day fire, burning away all that does not resemble your destiny. That's my newest book, and this was a lecture series shared with the members of AmeriCorps in Washington, D.C. We're going to share more on that once we come back from the break. You are listening to North Coast Underground, where the underground starts with you. Thank you for listening. Hey, what's going on? J.C. Johnson here for the Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. Thank you for hanging out with me this Thursday afternoon. We are listening to a lecture that I shared with members from AmeriCorps in Washington, D.C. It was a conference that took place yesterday. I was fortunate to be a part of it, and I'm glad to be able to share it with you today. So I don't want to take away any more time from that. So let's jump right back into it right here on North Coast Underground, where the underground starts with you. You're hearing it first.
So here we see that with the right determination, motivation, and commitment, you're going to be successful in this program. Now I'm going to show you how all this relates to what we're going to talk about today, the 40-day fire specifically. What is the 40-day fire? What's going on here? Any abstract thinkers or anyone who can just kind of maybe take a guess as to what's going on in this animation? What was that? Shaping the steel, right? So it's through this consistent movement. Abraham Lincoln said this, and we're going to look at this a little bit later. But Abraham Lincoln once said that if he had only 6 hours to chop down a tree, right? He said, you know what he would do first? He said, with the first 4 hours, if I only had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 4 hours sharpening the axe. What does that mean? It's not always just about, the thing that you're trying to accomplish. If you focus too much on that, you miss the process. The process is just as important as the end result. So what Abraham Lincoln understood is that I can chop at this axe for 6 hours straight, but if the axe is dull, it's not going to make any progress. That tree is still going to be standing there laughing at me after 6 hours is over. So he said, what I need to do is prepare. That's what we need to do. For anything in life that you want to accomplish, from something as small as waking up at 6 a.m. instead of 7:30 a.m., or something as great as becoming the president of the United States. Whatever it is that you want to accomplish, it all starts with this process, doing what you want to do, doing what you have to do in order to get there. So just, stand on that example. If you were to become the president or some kind of political figure, what does that mean? It's the process. It means you're not posting, crazy pictures of yourself on Facebook that are going to come back to haunt you, right? It means that you're not going to be doing things to hurt people or, do things that's going to ruin your reputation. It means that you're thinking ahead. You're not just thinking about the moment, but you're thinking about 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. All right, so again, that just goes into making daily decisions. It's making these everyday small decisions that ultimately are going to, lead to big things for you in the future. And understanding how the right or wrong choices that you make can lead to either your success or your failure, that is life or death. Everything that we do has a consequence, good or bad. The word consequence is not bad, even though sometimes we think of it in that context, but the word consequence simply means, 1 + 1 = 2. It's just what it is. If you do a good thing, good things will come about as a consequence. If you do bad things will come about as a consequence. It's just a law of nature that you can't avoid. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to, there's a lot of different principles in this book, and we're not going to be able to get through all of them. But today I wanted to share with you what I thought would be the most important points, something that you can really take with you today. So this is really just a crash course into the book, The 40-Day Fire. So quick review of what we're going to go over. We're going to look at how to tap into your purpose, understanding what your vision is, setting and achieving impossible goals, the importance of delayed gratification, the difference between a career and a calling, having purposeful collaborations with other people, and the importance of integrity. All right, so starting with how to tap into your purpose. It's one thing to talk about your purpose, your destiny in this life, but if you don't even know what that is, then this really doesn't even matter, right? It just sounds like words. But that's why we need to first figure out, why are we here on this earth? Why are you sitting in this chair here in Washington, D.C., instead of sitting on a beach in Miami, relaxing, right? Why are you here? You're here for a reason. There are people who are not in this room, and that's for a reason. You're in this room for a reason. Everything is for a reason. We don't always understand what's happening at the present moment, but everything that we do and everywhere that we are is for a purpose. So your purpose in life is the reason that you are here. And if you haven't figured out what that is yet, that's actually good news, because it gives you something to look forward to, right? It gives you something to strive for, to understand, to tap into. And when you find that out, when you find out what your purpose is in this life, it helps you to fulfill your destiny. And the word destiny, all words are connected in some way. And if you look at the root word of the word destiny, the prefix of that word is destined. And what is destined? What else has that same prefix? Destination. That's right. Destiny is related to the word destination. Anyone seen the movie Final Destination? Now, this is not to scare you, but just as an example. The movie Final Destination was about people's final destination, meaning the last moment of their life. But in this sense, we're talking about your destiny or your destination as the maximum fulfillment of your life. You know, the reaching your maximum potential. Some people say that the brain, that most people only use 10% of the brain. But that's not true. Because if you think about it, if you only use 10% of your brain, what would you be doing right now? Now, if some of you are tired, you might be saying, well, I don't know, I think I'm using only 10% right now. But think about it. Your brain is more powerful than a supercomputer. It's more powerful than anything that can be created by Microsoft or Apple. It's something that was given to you as a gift from God so that you can create, so that you can imagine, so that you can basically create your own reality. You can do things that other people might think is impossible. But because you're able to envision it in your mind and you're able to believe it in your heart, things can be real before they're real, right? Before you can actually see them with your eyes. And that's what all great people in this life have done. They've been able to see things that other people couldn't see. You know, Henry Ford was able to see the Model T car, something that other people weren't able to see. The Wright brothers were able to see, giving human beings the ability to fly. Some people say, oh, I wish I could fly. But guess what? If you get on an airplane, you can fly. That was something that just a little over 100 years ago seemed impossible. And now it's something that millions of people, you know, do every day. So sometimes we got to remember that the impossible can become possible if we can understand it. So that brings us to understanding your vision, the importance of this. How do you figure out what your purpose is? How do you understand the vision that you have? Well, the simplest way to figure that out is, what do you like to do? And what do you not like to do? Right now, you're working a job through this program. Maybe you like it and maybe you don't, right? But the purpose of being in AmeriCorps is not to be in this for the rest of your life. This is for a season. So what are you learning right now that you can apply to the rest of your life? Are you thinking beyond today? Are you thinking beyond 2019? And are you thinking about how is this going to apply to me down the road in the future?
Right, what's going on? JC Johnson here. We're going to take a quick break, but I hope you're enjoying the conference that was just yesterday. When we come back, we're going to play the last part of this lecture. You're listening to For the Love of Wisdom, where philosophy meets the streets. Thank you for hanging out with me, and we will be right back after this.
Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some. Because we love wisdom. Because we love wisdom. Fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. If you want it, come and get some.